I am about to film perhaps the most important video of my career. No pressure. What's going on, ladies, gentledoms, and every single person in between? It is I, NeonMUA, and it's the moment you've been waiting for. I mean, I have no words. You know why you're here. In case you did not know, I, NeonMUA, have a collaboration coming out. Today, we are going to be discussing my brand new collaboration, the Dusk to Dawn collection, in collaboration with Midas Cosmetics. And the nerves, the emotions, the feelings. We're going to get into everything. I don't want to stall too much. So, hello, if it's your first time here, hi, I am NeonMUA. That bitch, the one that you want to follow. I make content, mostly makeup content, some content charged towards like representation of black people and black boys specifically. If you want to follow me and get into all of my shindigs and all of the stuff over here, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time I upload. Also, if at any point during this video, you know what, I'm just gonna say it, I shouldn't see a single dislike in this video. There shouldn't be. There shouldn't be. So just go ahead and stop and like this video because this is a moment. This is a huge moment. With all of that out the way, hi. Let's discuss Dusk to Dawn. So let's go. This is my collection. This is my collaboration. I am so excited because this has been something that has been going on in the makings for what seems like forever. I have been discussing representation and beauty for literally the moment that my channel has started. And one of the topics that always seems to come up is the discussion of particular products for deeper complexions. We've seen like the boom and the flourish of certain products, foundations and concealers, and how the 40, 50, 60, 100 shades have popped up everywhere. Somehow in that conversation, contours and bronzers and things of that nature are always left out. And I'm sick. I wanted my collection to be a response to a much needed lack in beauty. And as we go deeper into this video, I will tell you exactly and specifically where this spark came from. But I was approached by Midas Cosmetics and they wanted to collab, and by the time I got that message, I already knew what direction I wanted to go into. And so I'm so thankful to the Midas team. I'm so thankful to Rocio, who gave me creative freedom to not only do something that I wanted, but to do something that is against the norm for an influencer collab. So I'm completely appreciative to Midas Cosmetics, and there's a lot of emotions here. I know it seems like it's just makeup, but as I've been saying in the promos, this is bigger than makeup. Like, the idea of catering to so many people, especially people who are constantly being forgotten in beauty, is so important. And I want to help change this discussion. I want to make this discussion a norm. I want people to understand that this isn't just something that's going on because of like certain events in the world. And the timing of all of this is ironic and haunting, however very important and very telling of the world that we are in now. In a world now where everything seems so performative, everything seems so forced, and I just want to put something out there that represents not only who I am, but a group of people. And my Dusk to Dawn collection is a collection of 4 different face palettes. These face palettes consist of a highlighter, a blush, a bronzer, and a contour. And the range of these palettes is vast. I wanted to make sure that everyone feels like they have at least something that they can use out of this collection. And so, work my ass off for this. These palettes all have a very silky texture. Everything goes smooth. It glides onto just about any complexion. You're not going to worry about any like texture, patches, things of that nature. All of the products are of a soft and creamy formula, so everything gets it butter. When you see what I show you, you're going to see a bunch of swatches because everything just feels great. So just be ready. Everything has a very buildable pigment. Because these are face palettes, I didn't want everything to just feel like super in your face and super like pigmented. Because with face products in particular, you want to be able to build up to something that is comfortable for your wear and something that you can like manipulate and adjust depending on the vibe of the look and just in your overall preference. So I didn't want bronzers and contours to be too pigmented. I didn't want highlighters and blushes to be too... I wanted everything to feel buildable and workable for anyone who uses these palettes, regardless of your experience in makeup. Everything is vegan and cruelty free, no worries there, and everything is recyclable. So if you're the type of person that likes to like break apart palettes, be gentle with my packaging first of all. But if you're the type that likes to break apart your palettes, then just know that all of the products are going to, or all of the packaging itself is recyclable. So I've rambled enough. Are you guys ready to get into the palettes? Are you guys ready to see? Here we go. On the back of all of these palettes, there is a special message from me to you. So just to read the message, it says, hi Fireflies. Oh, y'all forgot I called y'all Fireflies, didn't y'all? Hi Fireflies, thank you so much for purchasing my Dusk to Dawn collection. We've seen so many times where brands have dropped the ball in terms of representation for complexion products. I wanted to create a collection that makes everyone feel seen. I want everyone to feel like they have a product that they can use, no matter how light or how deep their complexion is. I hope you all enjoy. NeonMUA. So starting off, we have the Dawn palette. Hi Dawn. She's like, I'm excited because everything just looks great. So this is the sleeve that it comes in, and you guys will see pictures everywhere on Midas and on my pages, so no worries. But it comes in this lovely sleeve, and here's the palette. Are you guys ready to see? Here we go. Hello. Hi. So this is the Dawn palette. This palette is made for lighter complexions. Right off the bat, I wanted to make sure that not only am I catering to certain people who like me in this collection, but other people as well. One of the important things for me, at least with this palette in particular, was the fact that I didn't want the bronzers and contours to look orange. So if you remember on my Twitter like months ago, maybe a year ago at this point, I asked a bunch of questions about bronzers, specifically for a video, but this as well. And a lot of people who are on the lighter complexion said that bronzers and contours, bronzers especially, run very orange. And I've seen that when people come in looking like Oompa Loompas. So I wanted this palette in particular to make sure that it doesn't feel like you're looking like Oompa Loompa. So, as I said, 4 different shades in this palette. We have the highlighter shade, and everything feels so creamy, like, and so here's where things get frustrating. Because these are face palettes, it's hard to, like, when you're looking at swatches, I've said this before, I feel as though we as a community need to get away from swatches because of the simple fact that swatches don't represent a product's pigment and quality fully. However, in a time of COVID where we can't be around people and like you can't do it so much, I don't have a white person here like I planned to. I don't have someone who was lighter than me here with me to show you everything like I planned to. So here we go. I'm doing it on the back of my hand. Hi, this is the lightest part of my hand, so hopefully this makes sense. But we have the highlighter, and the highlighter is an icy reflective, and there's probably gonna be a zoomed in picture somewhere at some point. But the highlighter is icy, but not like too icy where it's uncontrollable. That's not cute. We have the blush, and the blush is a soft pink, a very soft wash. But like I said, everything is buildable. And honestly, I like this blush. I dip into this palette because of the blush and highlighter, so just let you know. And then we have the contour and bronzer. The contour is a soft brown. It's not like, it has a cool tone to it, but I don't like gray contours on lighter complexions, so, you know. And then we have the bronzer. And like I said, I didn't want this bronzer to read as orange. This bronzer actually reads more of a warm brown than orange. This palette is great for someone like Scott, someone like James. Even though James is on the West Coast now and he probably has a tan. But oh, James. Someone like Katie. Like I said, everything's buildable. So these are just like 1-2 swatches. Everything can build up to an intensity. Again, I just wanted people to understand that just because I am someone with deeper complexions and someone who favors like products with deeper complexions doesn't mean that I'm not thinking about other people. So we're moving on into the Noon palette. So again, here's the sleeve. She's cute. This is the palette, even cuter. And the inside of Noon looks like this. Ooh, yes. So again, everything in this palette is very creamy and smooth and buttery. That's why there are heavy swatches in here. Just being honest. So you have the highlighter shade, and the highlighter shade in this palette is more of like a white gold. One of my personal favorite types of highlighters. It's a buttery white gold. The next shade that we have in this palette, obviously the blush. And the blush is more of a peachy pink. So it's similar to the blush in the Dawn palette, but it has a bit more of like an orangish undertone. Think Orgasm by NARS, but not as intense and as heavy. That's what this gives. The contour shade is a cool tone, but it's not great. Well, I don't think it's great, but it is a cool tone. Very smooth, very buttery, very buildable. And then we have the bronze shade. And I feel like this is a great time to bring this up. You're going to see that the shades in these palettes, especially the contour and the bronzers, have a wide gap in between them in each palette. And that's because I wanted these to be able to work for a wider range of people. So if you're someone who fits in the medium category, you may not be able to work with the contour, but you may be able to work with the bronzer, and vice versa. Like, I wanted to make sure there are at least 3 out of 4 shades for everyone to use so that you're getting your money's worth. This palette, the Noon palette, is great for someone like Lauren, someone like Josh, someone like Rosia. So someone who is a bit on the, actually the medium side, because that's what this palette's made for, medium complexions. Sorry, this is where my heart flutters because this is where I really put in a lot of hard work. We're moving on into the Dusk palette. This is my personal baby because you'll see in a second. But this is the Dusk palette, so there was a sleeve. This is what the palette itself looks like. And here's the inside. Yes! This is my baby. This is my baby because this is my palette. Like, this is the palette I would use. This is my baby. I love this palette so much. I sound like the worst. I don't care. I love this palette. So you have the highlighter shade. All of the products, or all of the shades in this palette I'm wearing right now. You have the highlighter shade. And the highlighter shade is a bit more gold than the last one in Noon. It's not necessarily bronze, and it's not necessarily true gold, but it has like more of a golden undertone to it. So the gold is more intense on this one. Again, everything is very buildable. If you can see it, I wanted to go soft with the highlighter, and actually I went really heavy because like this formula, hey, baby. But it speaks to the testament of the fact that this formula is very buildable and very manageable. So like, even when I went super intense, I was able to shear it down a little bit with a blush on, such things. So just let you know. The blush is not a plum per se, but it's definitely it's a richer red, but it has like a little bit of an orange undertone. Again, very buildable. Me in particularly, when blushes with this specific color that are like brick reds, there we go. Blushes that have like brick red tone to them, I don't like when they are intense, because if you put on the wrong amount of that blush, it's a wrap. So with this blush, with all the blushes, like I said, all of them are very buildable and manageable. So you can build up the coverage, you can build up the pigmentation, and I keep swatching it just so you guys can see how much more that builds up, but I love this blush. Next up we have the contour shade, and you guys, that contour shade right there is really pigmented. This is a very pigmented contour shade. I'm wearing the shade now, and I can tell you that if you are not careful, you will go crazy. But it is a good type of crazy because even this contour shade is very deep on me. And that's what I wanted. Like I said, when you see the bronzers and the contours, the differences with those, the gaps may be a bit wider because I want them to work on more people. Like, there are people who are deeper than me that are not necessarily made for the last palette in this collection. And that's because I want it to fit more people. Like, I want people to feel like they have products that they can use. That's the whole point of my collection. So there's the contour shade. Again, very intense, but it's a shade that is beautiful and very neat. And then the bronzer shade. Again, very rich, very pigmented. If you aren't careful, you'll get carried away. But beautiful, stunning. I'm wearing it now. Everything just looks seamless. The Dusk palette is made for someone like me. My complexion, just saying. Jackie Aina is another person who could wear a palette like this. Ari is someone else who could wear a palette like this. This palette speaks for so many people who have been forgotten. And it's not even the deepest one. That's the thing. I'm so excited about that. Like, Dusk is my baby. Oh, by the way, like I said, Dusk, this palette is made for rich undertones. And that's something I want this collection to also work on, is that the language that we use when it comes to complexion and things of that nature is very problematic at its best. Like, at its worst, it's problematic. At its best, it's problematic, actually, to be completely honest. Like, I don't like the idea of someone being with a lighter complexion being considered fair, because it makes it seem like everyone else isn't. I don't like that. And like, I don't like people on the deeper end to be considered dark. Like, that feels weird. So like, the language of this collection is I paid special detail to that as well. Me and Rocio, we definitely wanted to make sure that we are doing more than just putting out makeup that changes the environment. Like, we want to make sure that the language and everything about this collection is changing the environment. So the Dusk palette is considered for those with rich undertones. And we have the Midnight palette, which is those, or made for those with deeply rich undertones. If Dusk is my baby, Midnight is like the golden child, if you will. So the story of this collection, like I told you, has a very deep, has a deeper meaning than just like putting out products. So if you guys aren't aware, there is a beauty creator by the name of NeonMUA, who is this amazing content creator. Always speaks up about representation, especially for those who have a deeper complexion, and oftentimes those people never have products to use. Like, someone like me can get away with using like the last shade in a product line, especially in like the drugstore. Someone like NeonMUA can't find products. Someone like NeonMUA has to improvise and use deeper foundation shades for contours and bronzers, and use eyeshadows for contours and bronzers, and eyeliners for contours and bronzers. And that was the biggest thing for me. Like, that's literally where the birth of this collection in terms of what I wanted to do came from. So there is a video that NeonMUA posted on her channel a year ago where she just like bought a bunch of bronzers from Sephora and showed how there is still a big lack in diversity when it comes to bronzers and contours. And the thing that really like upset me and like really like pushed me to want to do something like this was the fact that she said that she had to use one of the deeper brown chocolate shades that are in the Morphe 35, one of the Morphe 35 palettes. I can't remember off the top of my head. But she has to use one of those shades as her bronzer, and that really upset me. Like, I know I don't have the deepest complexion, but to know that there are people who are like me, who have deeper complexions than I do, have to improvise so much. Like, it really fucked me up, because it's like, why are we still in 2019 and in 2020 not releasing products that everyone can use? And that baffled me, and to this day I still don't understand why brands do it. It's why I fought so hard online against brands and brand owners to push for representation and inclusivity, because at the end of the day, there are people, literal people, who are buying products from these brands and still don't feel like they have a place in beauty. And so that's where the birth of Dusk to Dawn came from. And in particular, this is where the birth of the Midnight palette came from. When I first approached Rocio about this collection, I knew I wanted to do something that fit for someone like NeonMUA. And originally this collection was just going to be 3 palettes, but I'm glad that Rocio decided that we can expand and we can go all the way there. And so I'm so thankful to her, and I'm really excited to share with you guys, especially the Midnight palette, because I feel as though so many people are still struggling, and that's not fair. So with that being said, this is the Midnight palette. Hi, how is Shido? And words can't describe how excited I am to share this palette in particular with everyone in the world. Like, this palette means so much because I know that there are so many people who are going to be appreciative of this. So we have the highlighter shade. The highlighter shade is what I was referring to earlier. That is the shade that has that bronze undertone to it. So where Dusk is more golden, Midnight is more bronze. The Complexions palette, much like the blush in the Dusk palette, is red base, is that brick base. However, this one is more brick, like more red. Whereas Dusk is a bit more on the orange side. Again, very buildable, rich in pigment. Love her. The contour shade is I'm trying not to cry. I just really want people to understand that I'm trying to make something for people to feel like they have a place, because I'm tired of people feeling like they don't have a place in beauty. So this is the contour shade, and deep, rich, pigmented. Literally the definition of if a brand can create a deep eyeshadow, then they can create a deep contour and deep bronzer. And then the bronzer shade is this one right here. So yeah, this Midnight is Midnight is very special to me, and it's not even my palette. It's not even the palette that I would use in terms of my face, my complexion. But Midnight is so important. Midnight is for people specifically who have constantly felt left out in beauty, who have constantly felt as though the industry has always let them down. And so anyone who ends up in the Midnight category, I want you to know that I see you, I hear you, and I want you to know that you feel that you have a place here. So this is the Midnight palette. The Midnight palette, again, is made for someone like NeonMUA, someone like Todd. Andrew could honestly get away with using this palette, but honestly, keep it 100. If you've ever felt like you haven't been able to use a contour or a bronzer from any brand, this is the palette for you. That is a reveal of all 4 of my Dusk to Dawn palettes. I've put a lot of heart and a lot of emotion into these palettes, and you guys might just think it's just contours and blush and highlighters and you shouldn't be getting emotional about it, but like I said, this is bigger than just makeup. This is a push in the right direction for representation and inclusion for so many people who feel as though they don't have a space in beauty. So that's what I wanted to create here. So in terms of pricing, each of these palettes individually are going to be $36. That may sound alarming to some, but it's not, trust me. Each palette has 4 different shades, so you're paying $9 for each shade, compared to palettes like Huda, for example, that cost $45. It's actually really good, and it gets even better. So like I said, the palettes are going to be $36. There is a PR box that is available to purchase when these come out as well. So the PR box will have 1 palette, but I don't have the PR box with me now because production delays, COVID-19. Can y'all wear a mask so we can get over this? There will be a PR box for you guys to purchase. That will cost $42. So, palette itself, $36, PR box, $42. Now, Midas Cosmetics does have affiliate codes for everyone to use, so you can use your favorite influencer's code NeonMUA to save you some coin. So the palettes will be $28.80 and the PR box will be $36.60. So the launch of the Dusk to Dawn collection will be on August 10th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So Midas has decided to do something different for this launch. There's going to be a private shopping time for this collection. So what that means is in the description box of this video, there's going to be a link to a Google form. If you're interested in purchasing the Dusk to Dawn collection during this private launch, then fill that form out with like your information and like your preferred palette, and then you will get an email on the day of the launch letting you in with a password, and you guys know how a private launch works. So basically you'll be able to shop this collection 2 hours before the public launch. So keep in mind, during this private window time, which is going to be like 2 hours before the public launch, there's going to be a limited amount of stock there. In the event that the palette that you want is not in stock during that private shopping time, it's okay, because when it goes public, everything will restock then. But we just wanted to make sure that everyone has a chance to shop this collection, because, not to toot my own horn, but this might be major and we don't want to crash the website. So again, just to clarify, this collection will go live during a private shopping window on August 10th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the public launch will happen at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to make sure you get this collection, then go ahead and fill out the link in the description box below. Sign up, fill everything out, and you will have early access to this, okay? Okay, you guys, that's it for this reveal. I am stoked and nervous. I'm excited. I'm shook to all understanding. Again, I just want you guys to understand that I've put so much of myself into this collection, and I've tried my best to make sure that everyone is represented here. I worked really hard on this. I really did. And I hope that this changes the way we as a society and as a community views makeup and views people in makeup. Alright guys, that is the end of this reveal. I'm excited, ecstatic. Thank you so much for watching. I don't have much words, and I'm pretty sure when the actual launch happens I will be speechless, but I just want to let you all know that I'm so grateful for your love and support. Thankful to those who have been nagging me for the past 2 weeks about when this reveal is happening, because ultimately I know that you guys care and I know that you guys want to see greatness from me. So I'm truly thankful to each and every one of you that loves and supports me and Midas, and we're about to change makeup, and we're about to do something that is bigger than makeup here. So I truly am excited. I'm so thankful to each and every one of you that has supported, and I can't wait till August 10th. That's like 4 days before my birthday, so like my birthday is gonna be the best ever, even though we're on lockdown and quarantine. But hey, I'm excited. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. You have better enjoyed this video. I'm not even gonna ask if you enjoyed it. Like, if you're watching this video, then you should enjoy it. And if you do enjoy it, then you need to go ahead and give it a thumbs up, like, and support. It means so much to me. I would appreciate it. Also, you guys, if you want to continue seeing me on your YouTube feed, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time I upload. Also, make sure you guys follow me on all my social media accounts. That is NeonMUA on Instagram, Twitter, as well as Snapchat. Love to have you guys be part of the Fireflies family. Strongly suggest that you guys follow me on social media, as well as Midas Cosmetics on social media, because that's where you're going to get like up-to-date updates. That's where you're going to find out everything about the Dusk to Dawn collection. So whenever we can reveal the PR boxes, that's where you'll see it there. If just like literally follow everywhere, because that's where you're going to get everything up to date. And just be on the lookout for more content for the Dusk to Dawn collection, because I'm excited. I'm so excited. So thank you so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. And until next time, take care, and I will see you all on August 10th. Later.